Well done. Well done. Thank you. Gentlelady from Indiana is recognized for 5 minutes. Ms. Spartz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my pleasure to be here today. I can tell you one thing, the great state of Indiana will stand with the great state of Arizona to protect your border. I can assure you. And people do care because it's not an issue of one state. It's a national security issue. And unfortunately, we can debate and deliberate and a lot of issues and have disagreement, but we're always able to come together to protect our country. And this is a crisis. It's a national security crisis. It's unacceptable. It's unfortunate that my colleagues from this committee couldn't come here today to see what's really happening and how the impact of real life. But I just want to have a couple questions to this panel, And, I grew up in a communist totalitarian regime under Marlboro, so, have lots of guns and ammunition. We have a constitutional carry in Indiana, so I am good to go, but that's not where we want to go. And I sometimes, wonder, listen, if I would have come here illegally, I would really not have to go through all of the struggles I had to go for the last 23 years. So my question is for Dr. Trenchell. When I was listening to you, and I thought, okay, as a legal immigrant or legal citizen in this country, you have to pay for health care, you have to get insurance, you have to work and do all these different things. Isn't it we're creating perverse incentives, for people to come here illegally? Because it's not just hurting people that try to be within the system, but actually you get a free ride, and we have now illegal immigration to welfare. So I would like you to comment on that.
I agree, and we're required by law to see all comers and to provide the same level of care we do to everyone else. And when a migrant comes in that crosses the border without insurance, without a payment plan, we give them the same health care we provide to the other residents of our community. And we have no ability to bill. We don't know where they're going. We don't know if their name is right. We don't know anything about them.
It's unfortunate that we start incentivizing lawlessness in our country. I have a question to the sheriff, and I think really, my colleagues on the other side always talking about this human trafficking and what was happening, and it's a humanitarian crisis too, because these people become slaves. It's like modern day slavery to cartels with a lot of big money made on these people. And I understand they're desperate, but we created perverse incentives. So I want you to comment on human trafficking and also on other issues of getaways, how dangerous it is.
I will use the word from the Yuma Border Patrol Chief. It's narco-slavery, every bit of it that we are seeing along our border, and it's going to the interior throughout the United States. There's indentured servitude in a lot of these states and counties because of the cartels controlling the narrative right now. So there's not been many sheriffs that I have ran into that have not had to investigate those types of crimes. We've seen in the past where you'd had indentured servitude discovered by Border Patrol agents happening in the Carolinas, 3,500 cases of children being used as recycled to get more people in. So we have seen the indentured servitude. If you can't pay, you're going to pay another way.
Well, thank you for your service, and I will let you know we have a great sheriffs in the state of Indiana. If you need help, please let us know, because if we cannot fix it at the federal level, states can also step up and help each other. Mr. Lyons, some quick question, even though I have a little problem with being called flyover states, so I need to work on that, and I hopefully visit Indiana more often, because we have a lot of great things. It's a great state, as well as you have a great state here, too, as a farmer from flyover state, but actually farmer, I want to just have a quick question for you. Was what's happening right now with agriculture, and I was actually surprised in some of the numbers. Isn't really posed some issues with food safety and food security? What's really happening at the border?
So it's a challenge along the border, but our agriculture practices here in Yuma exceed the expectations and even the minimum standards or the maximum standards of any growers against any region in the United States. They have about a 500-page volume that they use. It's self-imposed to make sure, and they have hired people to watch over. We have had entry into fields, and at that point in time, depending upon what they've been able to locate, they either plow it under or remove it altogether.
But it would add that additional cost, which eventually
But it's an
will be
additional
passed
cost,
on to
yes.
consumer, right? Because it's
Absolutely.
extra cost that everyone has to do, because ultimately you have to be able to survive and pay money to be able to run your business.
Ms. Spartz, may I comment a little bit just on the narco trafficking of human trafficking? It was interesting, just before the China virus hit, the AP did a story, and they were talking about the LA basin specifically, but they estimated that between 65 and 75% of all manual labor was undocumented in the LA basin. And that remains a challenge and a problem today, because many of these people, as they come across the border, are still subject to the cartels to pay a debt and are indefinitely remanded to their service. They actually never leave.
I think it's unfortunate. I yield back.
I think the